Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Toned In Entertainment, where we love pop culture. Today, it's time for another comic book review. Now, Batman has certainly been through a lot through these 5 issues, and at the end of issue number 5, Batman was so close to getting back home, but of course, he was double-crossed by Deathstroke. Now, will Batman live up to his reputation as the world's greatest detective? Well, let's get on with my comic book review for Batman Fortnite 0 Point, issue number 6. As issue number 6 opens, Batman is being very hard on himself after being played like a pawn by Deathstroke. However, Catwoman will be there to at least try to tell him to not get upset at himself, as there's still a possibility to get back home since she has swiped Deathstroke's gadget that syncs up with the 0 Point with their home. Well, maybe Catwoman, she spoke too soon, because while she was trying to be a sneaky cat burglar, it appears she damaged the device in the process. As Batman takes a closer look, he sees it's just stuck on one setting that just takes him back to the loop, and while Catwoman doesn't believe this will be any type of help, Batman does, because he believes that with the assistance of a familiar face and Harley Quinn, she could be the wild card they need. Now, there is one major problem, because they're going to have to go into the circle, grab Harley, all in hopes of not losing their memories in the process. As Batman and Catwoman both realize that they're up against the clock, they decide that taking to the skies is their best option. And luckily for them, Harley Quinn is not a difficult person to find, as she's easily spotted, creating total carnage. Now, instead of trying to reason with her, Batman suggests the best plan is to strike fast and get her out of the circle as quickly as possible. Well, there's just one major problem, and it's that Harley, she doesn't want to go home. After getting the upper hand, Batman will try and talk some sense into her that with their 3 combined efforts, it should be enough to get them home. And see, that's all that they had to do, was just talk it out, because now Harley sees, well, they don't listen very well. From here, Harley will go on the offense as she tells them that this place is everything she could ever dream of. You get to play dress up while you fight and die, and then you get to do it all over again. And since there will be no reasoning with her verbally, Batman will have no other choice than to knock some sense into her. As the Bat and the Cat make their way with their third wheel, there will be, of course, another obstacle in their way. But this time, it's gonna be duplicates of themselves standing in their way of getting back home. Once again, knowing that the sands of time is moving at a very rapid rate, they're able to pull off a few maneuvers that allow them to make a quick escape. Now, before the connection is made, Catwoman begins to have second thoughts as whether they should actually stay. Now, I know Harley Quinn was in the fighting game Injustice, but it appears here she might also be a fan of Street Fighter, as she does a pretty good Chun-Li impersonation, breaking up the Cat and the Bat's little moment. From here, Harley will make an escape as she feels that she's missing out on all the fun, but it appears that Batman and Catwoman got what they needed from Miss Quinn, and that the portal is now open. Now, before Batman and Catwoman were interrupted, Catwoman was going to tell him the reason why she's having second thoughts about going home is she's scared. That while this place here is quite the crazy one, at least they now have an understanding of how it works, and most importantly, they have one another. And Catwoman's biggest fear is that when they return home, that things will be drastically different. And while Batman is having the same type of thoughts, his instincts, however, tell him he needs to return home, that others are probably depending on him. From here, the two will jump through the portal, but at first, they don't have any recollection of Gotham. But then Catwoman has this vision, and let's just say from here, Catwoman's gonna decide that she's gonna go out on her own, at least for now. As Batman swings his way through Gotham, he will be congratulated by Commissioner Gordon on his victory. But Batman isn't ready to get out the party hats just yet, because he believes that Deathstroke couldn't have done this without a very powerful influence. And yes, there is going to be a very powerful influence, but it's not just going to be Lex Luthor, but it's also going to be the Batman who laughs. And while Batman has closed the crack, it seems like this was just part of the trio's master plan, as Deathstroke was able to plant an anchoring device which will allow them to return to the 0 Point. And all this was done much easier with the assistance of the Batman who laughs, because who would know better how the Bat would act than another Batman? And as Luthor goes to toast his teammates, it's revealed that it's more than just a trio, as Dr. Sloan is also on board with these evildoers. Lex will tell Dr. Sloan that he's held up his part of the bargain. Now he hopes the doc will do the same. And that's when Dr. Sloan tells him just to look outside, that they've already begun to. And what was supposed to be a 6-issue series, well, it looks like this story is far from the end. Now on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give the Batman Fortnite comic book crossover issue number 6 a 9 out of 10. As each issue progressed, I found myself more engulfed with the story that had me highly anticipating the very next issue. As far as the 6th issue goes, I felt like the writer, Christos Gage, not only told an extremely fun and entertaining story, but also gave us a nice love story between Batman and Catwoman that I was invested in. And when it came to the revelation that this story would continue, I didn't feel cheated that this wasn't the end, but excited as to what tricks the creative team will have up their sleeves when this series returns. Alright guys, let's go wrap up my comic book review for Batman Fortnite 0 Point issue number 6. Now if you read this series, what are your thoughts? Comment down below. And are you excited for season number 2? And what characters would you like to see coming in the future? Now if you like comic book reviews like this, I will be covering season number 2 as well. So make sure you subscribe here to Tone In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.